Hi, it's Jennifer here. I have some poses that you could do at home on the wall. And you might want your mat and maybe a couple of blankets for a pose we'll do at the end. So finding your empty wall, you want to have your feet about 1.5 feet away from the wall. And then just lean your back up against the wall. Your shoulders and your head will not be touching the wall. And just start with the breath. So inhale and feel the belly. As you exhale, press your lower back into that wall, feeling that flatten out. Inhale, softening the belly. Exhale, pressing the lower back right up against the wall. And again, inhale, soften. Exhale, pressing that lower back. And now we're just going to go into a forward fold using the support with the wall. So as sliding your hands down your legs, you're going to either come into the elbows on the knees with the knees bent, or you can go all the way over, relaxing the head and neck. Just breathing into that forward fold. On the next inhale, you can press up, finding that flat back with your hands on the knees. As you exhale, forward fold, pressing your hips against the wall. Inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale, softening the upper body. On the next inhale, pressing up, walking up your legs, finding your back against the wall again. Now we're going to do our chair pose at the wall. This really is helpful to have this wall support. So think of, as you slide down the wall, you're going to press that lower back into the wall. I'm going to inch down because my wall is textured. So finding that place, your belly is pressed in, your back is pressed against the wall. Find some arms. You can have waiter arms. You can have goalpost arms. You can reach the arms up and over your head. Finding any of those poses that works for you. This is the most gentle for the arms. As you inhale, you can soften the belly, and then as you exhale, press that lower back against the wall. Softening the belly on the inhale. Exhale, pressing that lower belly. Feeling those knees right over the toes, so everything's in alignment. On the next inhale, you can slide back up the wall. And then bending the knees, finding that forward fold, either halfway with the elbows on the knees or all the way over. In both cases, softening the upper back. On the next inhale, you can lengthen the spine as you come up, walking your hands up your legs. And now we'll push ourselves away from the wall and just stand tall, feeling your weight equally on both feet. Shoulders relax, top of the head reaching up to the ceiling. And let's take another pose at the wall. Let's do our downward dog, or half dog is what I like to call it. So we'll be using the wall, but I'm going to show you from a side view. So I'm going to grab a stool. And if you have a stool or a countertop or something that would work better than the wall, feel free to go to that place in your house now. So I just want to show you an alignment detail that is hard to know if you're not looking at a mirror, but you can try to feel it in your body. So you want your heels right under your hips. So sometimes what I see is the heels are too far back or the heels are too far forward. And you can see I'm not in a straight line. You want to get a straight line. So there we have, I'm trying to feel it, trying to feel that connection from the heel to the hip, and then I'm going to press against the wall, finding that half dog at the wall. So if you're starting at the wall, you just want to walk yourself back, finding that spot where you feel like you're right in that nice alignment, heels right underneath, and then you can press into your hands, finding your half dog. So feel that length in the spine. The spine does not have to be flat to the floor. You could be having your dog pose up, but you do want a flat spine wherever your spine goes naturally. Breathing into that. Feeling that long neck. And to come out, you just want to press into the wall and then walk back up towards the wall. Hopefully you got a nice stretch in the hamstrings and the spine. And we're going to do a balance. And we're going to use our wall again as a balance. If you don't need the wall, then don't use it. But we're going to start on the right side. We're going to find our crane balance, which is, I'll show you the end result, either hands here or here. Right hand is at the wall, right leg is your supporting side. You first want to feel that connection from the heel all the way up to the sternum. And as you shift over to that right leg, you can just leave your toes on the floor to start. Lift up that heel and can feel how much you have to shift your weight. Then you just want to bring that leg up. It can be nice and low. You can bring it up higher. You can bring it up as high as it's comfortable in your body. You can then stretch the arms out to the side, or one of the arms out to the side if your other one is touching the wall for that balancing support. Arm can also go all over the head. And then you can float everything back down. And then just shake everything out in case you were engaged in any tense muscles trying to hold that balance. Going to the other side, you're going to have your left hand on the wall. The whole thing is supported on that left leg. So find that lift and lengthening. You can just float the heel up, float the whole foot up, float the knee up. Everything's floating up. Lengthen the arms. You can either have the arms out to the side or they can be up and over your head. Using the wall for any support that you need. Breathing. One thing to think about in this is not lifting the hip. You can see that I've now lifted my hip. You can drop the hip and try to keep both hips level. That might mean bringing the knee lower than you have it. So just pay attention to that alignment detail, and that will help your balance. And then when you're ready, float down, shake it out. I'd like to do one more pose at the wall, and this one is a relaxing restorative pose. And we're going to have our legs just up at the wall. So this is where you're going to need your 2 blankets. I like to fold mine so that it's like this. Or you could have it like this if you don't want a lot of bulk underneath your hips. But I like a little bit of height. It'll also help if your hamstrings aren't very flexible. to have a little more height underneath your hips. The other blanket I'm going to use for supporting my neck. So put it halfway, about halfway down your mat. You might have to adjust it once you get into position. So, I'll move this out of the way. What I like to do is I'm pressing my left hip, doesn't matter which side, up against the wall, and I'm on the edge of my blanket. I'm going to roll onto my lower back using my hands, and then I'm going to turn around so that I can put my legs up against the wall. And now I realize my blanket isn't in the right place for my neck support, so I'm going to lift and then adjust my blanket so that it's in the right place. So we're going to stay here for about 3 minutes. I'm just going to give you some different leg positions you can move your legs in to find the most comfortable. Sometimes if this gets to be too much, you can just bend the knees and just let them fall into your chest. Another position some people like is to find that Baddha Konasana bound angle pose, soles of the feet together, the knees floating out to the side. And then my last position for you is a fan pose, which you have these very stretchy legs out in a V, and that can be a lot of stretch on the inner thighs. So you can just find one or more of these leg positions that you would like. I would suggest starting with the legs reaching up to the ceiling, and that way all the blood can flow back into your heart, giving the legs a break from any standing they've been doing. To come out of the pose, you can just slide the feet down the wall and then roll onto one side and just take a breath there before you use your hands to press yourself back up to a seated pose. You can stay for a longer time in legs up the wall pose, and it's as beneficial as a 3-minute time. So until next time, from my heart to yours, namaste.